Guys, in this tutorial video you're going to solve a problem on instantaneous center method. Here we have the question. We need to locate all the instantaneous centers for the mechanism shown in the figure, and at the same time the link's lengths are given AB, BC, CE, and the speed of the crank is given as 240 rpm. We need to find the velocity of the slider E and the angular velocity of the links BC and CE. Let's see how we are going to solve the problem. These are the data that we obtained from the question. So the diagram of the mechanism is already given in the question. We'll just draw the sketch according to the dimensions what is given. So the dimensions of the crank A, B, B, C are given. So we'll refer the diagram that is given in the question. And let us produce that same drawing over here, taking an appropriate scale so that the instantaneous centers that we find falls within the same page, right? So I am going to looking at the numbers 150, 300, 500. So let us take a scale of 1 centimeter equal to 100. So let us construct the mechanism first. It is important to understand how the mechanism is there and how to geometrically construct it, right? So in some cases you'll have 4-bar mechanism, slider crank. Those are just quite a bit of simple mechanisms, but here the configuration is of a different one, right? So we'll understand the drawing first, have a look at the figure that is given in the question, and now we can start say from point A because the angle at point A is given. So if I consider this one as point A, consider the point A and draw an axis line through this point A. So from this point A, we can draw a 30-degree line. But the length of the crank is given as 150 mm. According to our scale, we are supposed to take 1.5 centimeters. So use a compass, measure 1.5 centimeters. So this point will be taken as point B, which is at an angle of 30 degrees. If you refer the given figure again in the question, so we see another axis line at a distance of 300 mm, and we also see a vertical axis from point A, and point D is found 100 mm towards the left side. So we'll draw one vertical axis from point A, draw another horizontal axis at a distance of 300 mm. So 300 mm according to our scale will be 3 centimeters. Now point D is found at a distance of 100 mm from the vertical axis. So 100 mm means 1 centimeter. So this point will be the point D. Now from the given diagram in the question, we see that the line or the link BC is vertical. So we'll draw a vertical line. Right, till where we have to draw the length of that BC is given as 300 mm. 300 mm in the scale what we have taken, it should be measured as 3 centimeters. From this point B, you can cut one arc for 3 centimeters. Where it intersects, that will be the point C. Connect from D to C, and hence we get the link CD as well. So the last link is CE. The length is given as 500 millimeters. If you refer the given question, so we get the point E on this horizontal axis on which point D is present. So we know the length of CE. So according to our scale, we need to take it as 5 centimeters. Cut an arc on this horizontal axis line. Where it intersects, that will be the slider E. Join C to E, that will give us the link CE. Now what we see here is only a skeleton of the mechanism. We'll just identify the fixed links and the slider from the given question and draw according to it. So we have A as the fixed link, D as a fixed link, and E as the slider. We have done with that. Let us darken the links that we have drawn as well. This is the given mechanism for the given scale, and to the scale that we have taken, we complete the mechanism drawing. Let us count the number of links using which we can identify the number of instantaneous centers that are to be found. So the fixed link will be named as 1. How much ever fixed link you find, all of them will be named as 1. So the second link will be the crank, that is AB. Third link is BC. Fourth link is CD. This is fifth link CE. And the slider itself will be the link number 6. Now, as we have noted the number of links as 6, let us find out how many instantaneous centers that we will get for this particular problem. So we get the value of small n as 6, that is number of links. So you can calculate the number of links as 6. We are going to get 15 instantaneous centers in this particular problem. Next we will construct the box of 6 cross 6, so that let us identify the names of the ICs that we need to locate for this particular mechanism. So we construct this 6 cross 6. I have constructed 7 cross 7. Always construct one extra to name the links on rows and columns. So this will represent, and this will represent the links in the column 1. So first and foremost, you cross the diagonals. Either you choose above or below the diagonal and cross them also. Then we'll have 15 boxes which are vacant. We'll name all of them depending on the row and column number. So first row and second column, this will be I12. Now these are the ICs that we are supposed to find for the mechanism that we have. So first and foremost, we locate the ICs which are going to be obtained directly from the mechanism drawing. So let us locate the ICs starting from link number 1. So we have the crank AB. This crank AB is going to rotate at point number A, because point A will be the center of rotation for crank AB. So this point will be considered as I12. At point B, link 2 and 3 are connected. Link 3 is going to either oscillate or have any motion with respect to link 2 only at point B. So this is going to be I23. And next comes 3 and 5 together over here at this point C. This will represent the instantaneous center I35. The same point, link 3 and link 4 are connected at this point. So the link 4 will have any motion or oscillation with respect to link 3 at point C only. So this will represent I34. When you come to point D, 1 and 4 are connected together. The motion of link 4 will be with respect to link 1 at this particular point D. So this point D will represent I14. That we come over here, we have the link number 5 and link number 6 which are connected to each other at point E. So this point E will represent the instantaneous center I56. We have the connection is between link number 6 and 1. Link number 6 is simply the slider which is going to slide with respect to link number 1. Remember, for a straight line motion of any link, the center of rotation, that is IC, will be found at infinity, and it will be found at a direction perpendicular to the motion of the link. So the motion of link is horizontal here. Hence, at infinity on this line, you are going to find the instantaneous center I16. At this point C, we also have the link between link number 4 and 5. So the same point will also represent the instantaneous center of I45. This same point is common for 34, 35 and 45. So here we get another IC I45. Let us mark the ICs that we obtained directly from the mechanism drawing. So the first one we got was I12, and then we got I23, I34, Now these are the ICs that we have obtained directly from the mechanism drawing. So the remaining ICs, what we see here, which are not circled, has to be found out geometrically. And for that, the first thing we do is draw a circle diagram, and since we have 6 links in this particular mechanism, we need to draw a polygon of 6 sides within a circle. You can take the compass of any radius, you simply draw a circle. So mark 2 points on the circumference vertically, keep the same distance of the radius of circle and cut the arcs from that points that you have marked. Join these 6 points that are obtained and you will get the hexagon. Now in this polygon, all these 6 corners will represent one of the linked numbers. And each of this side of the polygon will represent one instantaneous center depending on the number that is connected. So the first side is connected by 1, 2, we'll number this as I12. Now in this polygon or within the circle diagram, what we do is we connect the ICs which are already found in the mechanism drawing with a dark line, and the one that we need to find it as a new instantaneous center, we'll draw that with a dotted line. So here we have found many ICs. In fact, if you just count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ICs we have found. But in the polygon, what we have done here, we have represented only 6. Let us cross check and write all the ICs that are found in the mechanism without any construction should be drawn with a dark line in the circle diagram. Okay, so the number of links are 6. Let us cross check which are the other ICs that we have already found from the box which we have written here. I12, it is done. I16 is present. So two things are missing in the circle drawing, that is I14 and I35. So let us connect these points 14 and 35 so that we represent the instantaneous center I14 and I35 from the box diagram. So point 1 is here, 4 is here, you join them with a dark line. So this will represent I14, and then one more point that we need to identify is 3, 5. So we have point 3 here and point 5 here, join them with a dark line. This line will represent I35. So now in the circle diagram we have represented all the ICs that we obtained directly from the mechanism drawing. The remaining ICs should be found by joining the lines or extending the lines from the already found ICs. Now let us select one of the IC, that is I13 first, and connect the point 1 to 3 with a dotted line. So this line will represent I13. Now because of connecting these points 1 to 3, two triangles you will find which are related to I13. So select only those two triangles separately for your better understanding. As you practice it again and again, you can refer the same diagram for finding out the triangles and finding out which ICs to be connected in order to find out the new IC geometrically. So as of now we are trying to find I13. So see which are the triangles formed because of I13. 1, 2, 3 is one triangle, 1, 3, 4 is another triangle, right? So let us draw these two triangles separately for better understanding. Now from the circle diagram I have separated only the points 1, 2, 3 and 4, because by connecting 1 to 3 the two triangles formed are 1, 2, 3 and 1, 3, 4, where this will represent I13, out of which these are already found in the mechanism drawing. This is the new one that I am trying to find. Therefore I13 can be obtained by joining two lines. Refer one triangle first. Let us assume the triangle 1, 2, 3. So if you assume the triangle 1, 2, 3, the two sides apart from I13 will be I12 and I23. Go to the next triangle which is going to be 1, 3, 4. And the two edges what you find in this triangle apart from I13 is going to be I14 and I34. Now to get the intersection of I13, now we have got Two instantaneous centers, join them together and extend it. Two instantaneous centers, join them together and extend it. Where that two lines intersect, there you will find the point I13. So come back to the mechanism drawing, locate which ICs to be joined, I12 and I23. So here I have I12 and here I have I23, which are already connected by a straight line. So in this thing that we have found, I12, 23 is already connected. Let's join I14 and I34 as well. So I14 is present here, I34 is present over here. So join these 2 points and extend it till it connects, till I1223 and I1434 are joined together, because that is what we have found here, right? When we extend these two lines in the downward direction, it is going to connect somewhere here. But if you extend it in the upward direction, it will never get connected and will be never able to find the IC. So make sure that you are joining it in the left direction. So this point of intersection, what we find here will be the IC what we tried to connect here, that is I13. We need to repeat the same kind of process for all the remaining ICs. So right now we have done this only for I13. Let us do the same for the next point, say I15. So select I15 and join them with a dotted line. So if you are using a pencil, it will be always helpful so that you can erase them, and use the same circle diagram to identify the triangles and the sides to be connected and extended on the same circle diagram. So now I am going to connect I15. This is going to give us I15, and this is going to give us two triangles, 1, 5, 6, 1, 4, 5, right? Now we are trying to find out I15, two triangles which are related to I15 according to the drawing, 165 or 156 and 145. Now see which are the ICs that fall for these two triangles. If I select I56, apart from I15, the remaining two edges are I16 and I56. If you select the another triangle 145, apart from I15, the remaining two edges are I14 and I45. Right? Now try to identify these ICs and join them and extend them. Where these two IC lines will intersect, that point will be the IC I15. I16 is present in the infinity, I56 is present over here at this point. So it is already connected with a dotted line because we generated this in order to represent the I16. The next ICs that you need to join is I14 to I45. So locate I14, it is present over here. I45 is present over here. So this is the line that I am supposed to join or extend. So now there is no use if we extend it in the downward direction because the other line is present over here. So extend this particular line of I14 and I45 in the upward direction, and where it intersects, that will be the IC I15. So now we have done with I15. You can erase this and use the same circle diagram for the next IC to be found in the mechanism drawing. So the next IC to be found here is I24, right? So in order to get I24, connect the points 2 to 4, and when you do so, this will give us I24, which will form two triangles 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 4. I24. Right, so let us connect these 2 points and these 2 points in the mechanism drawing. So I23 is present here and I34 is present here, which are already connected by a straight line. Now we do not know whether to extend it upwards or downwards until we locate the next line. So this is done. So the next line is I12 to I14. Locate I12, it it is present here. Locate I14, it is over here. Connect this with a dotted line and extend them. Now whether to extend it downwards or upward direction, we have 2, 3 to 3, 4 over here. If you connect it downwards, this will never get intersect. So connect it in the upward direction. Now where it intersects, this will be the point which we were identified from the circle diagram I24. So here I have the same circle diagram. I have connected the ICs that we newly found out, I13, I15 and I24. Now let us go to the next IC and try to identify that, which is I25. So connect the points 2 to 5. No, I am just using a different color so that you identify those points correctly. So connect I2 to 5. Let me encircle it. This is I13 and this is I24. So now I need to find out I25. The triangles that are formed because of I25 are going to be 2, 3, 5. The other triangle what we'll find here is 1, 2, 5. Though 1, 5 is something which we found out newly and it is a dotted line, but remember it is already found. The things that are not found are still over here in the box, which are not hatched. Okay, so let us just assume now that I15 is already found and this is also a visible line. Okay, 1, 2, 5 and 2, 3, 5. So locate these ICs and connect them, extend it, where it intersects, that will give you I25. 1, 5, 1, 2. Of I12 to I15 and I23 to I35 is found over here. So this point will represent the instantaneous center I25. The next IC is I26. So let us join the points 2 to 6. Repeat the process for the remaining ICs. Identify the two triangles that are formed because of joining that line. At infinity, it's not that you have to connect to this line. Remember, it is found at infinity. So if you draw a vertical line from here also, it will connect to the point I16. With connecting these two, next we need to connect I25 to I56. The last two ICs are I36 and I46. Let me join them and get the triangles. This is 36. Triangles are 136 and 356. I16 is present at infinity. So once we identify I46, all the ICs which was tabulated in this table is found. Next, after finding all the ICs in the mechanism drawing, we need to find the velocity of the slider E, and we need to find the angular velocities omega BC and omega CE equal to VB divided by AB. Now this is the angular velocity of the crank which is related to the moving point, that is B. So we have the crank AB, so AB is going to be rotating or oscillating, and the point B will be moving while the point A will be fixed. So the angular velocity of AB is simply given by the velocity of point B divided by the distance between the point and the center of rotation, right? Then is AB in this particular case. Now in some problem this angular velocity will be directly given in the question, but whereas in this problem we have the speed of the crank given as 240 rpm, as you see here in the given data that we have noted it. And now we have the angular velocity to be found out, which is given by the length of AB is 150 mm, so in meters it's going to be 0.15. We will get the velocity as 3.77 meter per second. Why we are finding out VB? Because in the mechanism drawing, if we know the angular velocity of AB, we can find out the velocity at point B. If we know the velocity at point B, we can find out angular velocity or also the velocity at point C, and it proceeds. We can also, if you know the velocity at point C, we can find out the angular velocity of CE as well as the velocity of E. So it is all interlinked because this is a single mechanism. So the data given here is with respect to crank. You go on finding it by connecting link to link. So the first link is done. We have found out the velocity at point B. Now we'll write a relation of velocity at point B with respect to velocity at point C, which is given like so this. Omega BC should be equal to the velocity of point B divided by distance of point B to the center of rotation of the link BC. So where is link BC? In the drawing we have link BC present over here, which is like a vertical line, and the center of rotation for this link BC, you just trace the point dotted lines which are connecting at a single point. So center of rotation, instantaneous center for BC is going to be I13. So take the distance from I13 to B if you are taking velocity at point B, and next you take the distance between I13 to C to find out the velocity at point C. Refer to the drawing to find out the value of I13B. And the scale that we have taken here is 1 centimeter as 100 mm. So just multiply this by 100 millimeters. So I13B will be taken as 1400 millimeters. In meters, it's going to be written as 1.4 meter. VB by I13B is already calculated as 2.69. We can also take the first and third one also. Omega BC can be taken as VC by I13C as well. Anyhow, the value will be the same. Measure the value of I13C from the drawing that we have done. 12.5 centimeters. When you multiply that with the scale, you are going to get 1250 mm, which is multiplied by, converted into meters, 10 power minus 3. .36 meter per second. Now we need to find the angular velocity of BC as well as the angular velocity of CE, right? So omega BC is done. We need to find out omega CE as well as the velocity at point E. Look at the center of rotation for the link CE, right? If you look at the link CE, the center of rotation for this link CE are going to be the lines which are emerging from there, and where it intersects. It is going to intersect at I15. So take this as a center of rotation for the link CE. After finding out the value of omega CE, we can calculate the value of VE as well by taking these two from the equation number 2. Measure this from the mechanism drawing I15 to E. And that will complete the problem, and we have found out the angular velocity of CE, velocity of slider E, as well as the angular velocity of the link BC. BC is also found here, and that will complete the solution for this problem. For any doubts or clarifications, you can drop a comment or contact me through my mail ID.